Hello, I am Prime Minister Alston Elsler of the Queendom of Nyx. How are you today? I am in one of my new tailcoats that I said I bought. Ain't it? Nicoland. Oh, some of my wrist cuffs here are not out. I didn't even notice that till now. Yes. And no, these are not costumes. These are actual genuine clothing. It actually took me forever, and it was actually quite pricey. So, yes, and it is part of the culture that I am embracing and showing off's not the right word. Setting the example of. So, like, these would be the outfits that I would love to see everybody wear. I think they look good. I think they would look good on everybody. But I can't force you. So, but that is the culture. I plan on setting examples, so I'm setting the example. Now, tail goats are not the only thing that we're gonna like wear everywhere, right? You know, people will have their own preferences, such as such, right? So, excuse me. So it's not just tailcoats. There's actual shirts, actual pants, actual all that stuff, right? T-shirts, all that stuff, right? Not only to show off a steampunk or even a Greek mythological god, but actual shirts that would go with the tailcoats to go with the 19th century theme. So, which is the Victorian theme. Okay, we have two themes mixed together: the Greek mythology theme with a combination of ancient Greece and a little bit of Greek mythological things, and the Victorian era steampunk themes, right? And I kind of noticed this recently too. We're not the futuristic steampunk to where it'll look like more towards cyberpunk but with a lot more brass. We're more towards the Victorian Gothic steampunk era in that regard. So is why I consider myself a steam goth instead of just straight up steampunk. But you'll see me in gothic attire and steampunk attire. You'll see me in brass goggles, you name it. Think of something steampunk, you'll see me in it. So, but so let's see. I thought I had this ready, but I guess I did not. Which is fine. This is actually my what, second time wearing this, maybe third time. So, still adjusting. So, you know, this is actually my first time I actually get to wear these outfits, and they're actually quite nice. Actually, very soft. But what are we talking about today? We are going to talk about the National Constables Bureau. and talk about who are the Constables and why do they exist? Why are they in the Queendom of Nyx? What are they? Who are they? All right, well, let's talk about it. I have my website here with me, so instead of accidentally making up things in my mind, I'm going to read to you what I wrote on the website that explains what the Constables Bureau is and who the Constables are. So, the National Constables Bureau is the primary law enforcement and community protection agency of the Queendom of Nyx. They are dedicated to maintaining order, safeguarding the rights of all citizens, and upholding the values that define our nation. The NCB is committed to building trust and cooperation with the community while ensuring a safe and secure environment for all. The National Constables Bureau is the national police force of the Queendom of Nyx. It operates under the authority of the Office of the Prime Minister, led by the elected Chief Constable. The NCB is responsible for enforcing laws, protecting citizens, and preserving peace throughout the Queendom. The Bureau emphasizes transparency, integrity, and accountability to maintain public trust and safety. What are the roles and responsibilities of the National Constables Bureau as well as the constables themselves? The key roles are law enforcement, enforcing laws, regulations, and court orders as outlined in the Nyx revised statutes and administrative regulations. Public safety and order, responding to emergencies, maintaining order during public events, and ensuring the safety of the Prime Minister, the royal family, and other high-profile individuals during official activities. Community engagement, building strong ties with citizens through outreach programs, encouraging collaboration to keep communities safe. Court security and assistance, providing courtroom security during court sessions and executing warrants and subpoenas as required. Yes, we do have a court system. Yes, we had trials before, not on citizens, but like on government officials for procedural reasons, which we no longer have to worry about now. And in case you are wondering, no, we have not executed any warrants. We had citizens violate or accused of violating laws before, but those have all been dropped and whatnot, so we haven't really, had to do anything that requires all that. Court security and assistance, providing courtroom security during court sessions. I already said that. Sorry. And tax collection oversight. Assisting in the collection of voluntary taxation contracts where required. So yes, because why? Yes, they are tax collectors too. They can be anyway. What does that mean? That taxes are not mandated. You're right. They are not mandated. They are voluntary taxes. However, we do it by contract. So, if you voluntarily signed a contract, you are stuck with that contract for 1 year on the exact date you signed it. So, you have to pay taxes that you voluntarily, willfully signed until the year is up. Now, will you be punished for not paying taxes? We have not come up with a form of punishment as of yet, because we like to be simple and easy for people to get a chance to financially build themselves up to pay the taxes. For example, we do have a citizen that is very behind on that person's voluntary taxes. That person is aware that that person's behind. But the person's been keeping track on how much they owe the Nixie government, and we keep track of that too, and we are helping that person along the way to help pay that off. So that person doesn't have to worry about it as much. So that person has nothing to worry about, but we are constantly reminding that person that, hey, the contract still has you held up. So you still got to pay the taxes. So pay the taxes. And then, and there's nothing to worry about. So what does this mean if they're behind on taxes? Obviously, this will also mean that once the year is up, right, they still have to pay the taxes that they owe. So we will definitely, for lack of better words, we will definitely bother them with, hey, pay us this amount of money that you owe us, and we're good. We're not gonna bother you. What do we mean by bother you? We're not going out there threatening and say, hey, give me your money. We're not doing that. No, we're constantly, consistently, continuously reminding them that, hey, you still owe this and that. Pay us this and that. You can pay us in payments. It's all good, right? So, and of course, since the person's behind, the person gets to choose whether they want to keep it going or they can not pay any more taxes once the year is up, and because it's voluntary taxes, right? So, other than that, yeah. So that's basically the simple gist of tax collecting. So like I said, we haven't come up with a punishment for the contracts yet. I'm sure we will in the future, but it's not a priority right now because when you only have one voluntary taxpayer and a bunch of donors, which there are a difference. But when you have one taxpayer, there's no point. Nope, no point in making a punishment at this time. So, but everybody else just goes by with simple donations. Now when it comes to money coming in from in the future YouTube or money coming in from our Patreon that we do have, that definitely needs to be worked on. So it's on my list. Yeah, Patreon and YouTube, both of them are private companies, so they're getting enforced anyway, and it's based on subscription, so that part's easy, so we're not really worried about that. And I think the final thing it says here is that the NCB is committed to serving the community with professionalism and respect, ensuring that the Queendom of Nyx remains a safe and just nation for all its citizens. So yeah, that is the National Constables Bureau, and that is what the constables are. It's our police force. If you want to learn more about what the constables can do, look up our website and find our laws and the statutes, as well as the Constitution. So the Constitution and the statutes will have something on the constables that will bring you up to speed of what they do and what they are. So, I have, and I'm just going to give this a brief update for citizens. The Queen has authorized me to fix the statutes and regulations my way, in a sense where ever since the branches of government has merged, I now have to reword some parts of the laws, and I'm also just going ahead and deleting parts of the laws. Not Constitution. Constitution's fine. The statutes and regulations. So I'm going into the statutes and regulations to fix the wordings, get rid of the labels of institutions that no longer exist in Nyx, and adjust the numbering of the laws and the chapters, all that stuff. So I gotta do all that. So if you look us up now, you'll see the laws as they are right now as I post this video, but in the future they might change and look a little different. But if you're a citizen, every now and then look up the laws. The laws are actually going to shrink. Because there's a lot of laws that we're now seeing that are probably no longer necessary to have. So there's not going to be as many laws anymore. For example, the Title 1, NRS Title 1, Supremacy Branch statutes. It only has 2 chapters now. It did have 1, but I'm using the ChatGPT tool to help me organize it to where, what parts are going into this title, and to make sure it's organized properly and make sure it's going to each of the sections properly and whatnot, so I can get it all organized, and then people will actually understand it a little bit better. It's also helping me with the rewording, the refining, everything that's written on the laws. I wrote them, every one of them. And I'm using ChatGPT as a tool to help refine the words. I'm also using Grammarly because sometimes the AI will tell me one thing and I'll copy and paste it onto the document. And sometimes Grammarly will just call out, hey, there's a grammar issue here, let's fix that. So I use Grammarly to help with the grammar issues, because I know the AI is not perfect, as we all should know that. AI is not perfect, so I use AI to help me refine the words a little better, and Grammarly helps me ensure that there's no grammar issues along with the new words that I put in. And yes, for every new wordings and adjustments to the laws, I give ChatGPT what it looks like now, and it'll give me a new refined version of what I've already written. So nothing necessarily changed, it's just the wording and adjustments have changed. So that is the brief update on the laws and all that. So laws are not necessarily changing, they are adjusting to pre-existing conditions of our current system. So you might see some changes, you might not. You might see some things that are more necessary than unnecessary. So the final two things I'll give you today about the constables is who is the current chief constable. That will be Robert Brommel. He has a 2-year term, and he was actually elected this year on our founding day, September 21st. Sorry, I had a weird notification on my phone. September 21st, 2025, which is our founding day, of 8 years. So he was just elected, beating the incumbent Kurt Fuse, who was our first chief constable. Now Robert Bromwell's our second one. And the total constables in the force are only 3. Kurt Fuse, of course, is one of them, and Robert Bromwell is obviously one of them. And then we have one individual that is a citizen, that is a private citizen. Although a public official, is still a private citizen. So we're not going to give out the name yet, because we haven't gotten that far, in a sense where we're just going to call people out by their names, unless they're straight up government officials, right? So, for example, Robert Brommel is the current chief constable. Kurt Fuse was the former chief constable. You got me, Austin Elsler, as the prime minister. You got Liddell as Queen Breckinridge I. You have Chelsea as the minister of the court of Themis. And you have Countess Maguire the noble. So, and you have Deputy Prime Minister Cain De Niro. So, there you go. All the government officials. Transparency. All public. So, other than that, that is everything about the National Constables Bureau. They do have their own coat of arms. I'll just go ahead and, because I haven't put it down on the video, so I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. A blue shield, with a white shield in it, with a black stripe going in the middle, a yellow star outlined by royal blue, and behind the white shield is crossed swords. Crossed swords with white hilts and black blades. So that is essentially the coat of arms. If you want to see the coat of arms for yourself, just go to our website and find the Constables Bureau page. It'll be the first thing you see as soon as you get there. So, other than that, that is the National Constables Bureau. Hope you liked the video. Hope you find it informative. And I will see you soon. Have a good day.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, is someone come forth. In the dark of night, there is a change of night. Our freedom is a national just we fight for freedom and justice.
Rise, Queendom of Nyx. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, Queendom of Nyx. United we stand, divided we
nights, in the coldest of days, is our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change are night. Our freedom is a